Coming up on Crossfire Collectibles, the G.I. Joe Hiya Toys 1/18 scale Exquisite Mini, Lady Jaye. Stick around. What's up, and welcome to Crossfire Collectibles. Today's video, we're going to be opening and reviewing the G.I. Joe Hiya Toys Exquisite Mini 1/18 scale 4-inch figure of Lady Jaye. So the latest release in the Exquisite Mini series of G.I. Joe from Hiya Toys, and this one is Lady Jaye. She came, I think, a little swapped. I thought that she was supposed to come before Destro, but no, we got Destro last time, and now we got Lady Jaye this time. So pretty excited for her, and I can't wait to open her. So first, let's go ahead and check out the packaging. So you have this nice G.I. Joe card. Black, it has the back blast in it, you know, the explosion going on. Some new art of Lady Jaye right here, kind of in the classified garb, which I do like and looks pretty good. You got the figure right here. She has a bunch of accessories. We'll be sure to check those out. There's a stand in there, backpack, all the good stuff. Around to the back, you have G.I. Joe. 2 promotional shots of the figure right here. There's a QR code if you'd like to scan it. UPC, nothing at the bottom. And I always say, I love how these cards stand up. Simply perfect. So now, we're not going to waste any time, and we're just going to get right into this. But before we do that, please subscribe to the channel. All right, so like how I normally do, I'll go ahead and take an X-Acto knife, and I'll pop that in so I can salvage the card. And I'll just slice around the bubble. All right, then once we have that cut, we'll go ahead and take these inner tiers out. You got 1, 2, and then the figure on the main bubble. So here's Lady Jaye in the plastic dungeon, and it looks pretty good from what I can tell. But we're gonna come back to her and check this one out last. Is she gonna stand up? Yes, okay. So we'll start at the bottom, and we'll look at the stand here. So, looking at the others, I have a few others out here, and it may be slightly different. I think I see a little bit of a different pattern on this, so that's good. I think the last ones that we've gotten were pretty identical, but this one absolutely has a different style to it, so that's nice. One day I'm going to go ahead and take all of them and put them together and just kind of find out for sure, you know, firsthand which ones are different and which are not. This is definitely a different pattern, so that's cool. We'll go ahead and get out one of our connecting stands here. And what you do with these, there's 2 slots on each side. You can pop one in and connect it with another stand. You can put them in anywhere, so you can make a whole, you know, straight up base, and it's pretty nice. So we'll get that off to the side, and now we'll go over the regular accessories here. This one was a little odd to take off. It actually has tape on it. I haven't had any that were actually taped on. All right, so I'm gonna dump all the goodies out and get them back here a bit. And we'll start off with the extra pair of hands here. All right, so we got all the accessories out, and we're gonna go ahead and start with our extra pair of hands here. So here they are. You have these brown gloves, some nice weathering on them. Looks like a bit of black wash in with the detail to make them look pretty good. Looks like the hands on the figure itself have some extended trigger fingers on them grips, so that's cool. There's your little sockets at the back for the small ball joints that are on the forearms of the figure. So there's your hands. So this will be the spear repeller gun that she has. I'm not sure what they would call it, but interesting. Kind of like the one we got with Classified, pretty close to it. So she would simply just hold it right there and you slide the spear into it. If you don't want to do that, you can go more classic look and just have her holding her spear, but pretty cool. All right, now we'll move on to her knife. So pretty small here, very small handle. It's all black. You have the blade in a silver metallic. And it looks pretty nice. We haven't seen one of these yet. We have seen some knives, but not this one. Coming around to her backpack, and here it is. So very much like the first classified release of Lady Jaye, you have the green paint job, it a silver metallic stripe running through it. You see the stripe still on the back too, but it's not painted. And then up here you have that extendable camera. Looks like a single hinge on there. I don't see any others. I don't want to break this, so I'm not going to toy around with it too much. But no, just a single camera up there. So, very cool. There's the peg to stick it to the back of the figure, and you have some additional pegs here in case you probably want to stick your spear launcher onto that. So that's nice. And then her final accessory, and this is her spear. Now I gotta say, this looks fantastic. Looks so much better. They gave it the metallic paint job, so it has that nice sheen to it. There's some detail right here in that grip. You see a little bit of black in there. Even up at the blade itself, there's some details in it. And it looks absolutely beautiful. Now, if they were to upgrade this to with the classified versions, I think that'd be great. Man, but that looks good. I'd be half tempted to swap this out, and put it on one of my my 25th figures or something, but man, that looks really good. And now, go ahead and take the figure out. So pretty careful. She came out with ease, and here she is. And from what I can see, the figure looks pretty good. Very close to the classified version. I see a few things that are a little bit different, but not too much. First, I want to get a shot of that portrait, and it's okay. It's not the best. I don't want to put her, in the same category as the Flint, but I just thought that head was horrible. Nothing against Hiya, you guys did a great job with that figure, just that head needed a bit of work. And I'd probably say the same about this. I think the head needs a little bit of work. It does look good, but I would expect maybe a little bit better, but it's okay. Unlike the classified figures, the hat does not come off, so you do not have an option to remove the hat or just put on regular hair, but that's no problem. She does have this brown bandolier. Looking over at the shoulder, she does have that little symbol right here. She has that dual belt and that little con-link piece on the side. So on the side of it, she does have this little holster. Very small opening. The knife should fit, so we'll be sure to check that out. It's not attached, so you can move that around or probably even take it off if you'd like to. Looking at the legs, I like the different two-tone paint jobs. There's also some weathering in there, so it makes it look nice. Knee pads, they stand out pretty good. Super weathered, almost like a rusty look to it. Kind of going down the same with the shin pads on the boots. She's kind of duck-footed, so let's go ahead and fix those a bit. And all right, there we go. So let's go ahead and check out the articulation on the figure. So you got that head on a ball joint. It can rotate a full 360. Can look forward about that far, up that far, a little bit of side to side. So not too bad, but a little bit limited. Over at the arms, you have the hinge. So her arm can only come out about that far. It can rotate a full 360. She does have bicep rotation. I kind of like how they did that too. You have the rolled up sleeve, and that's where, the upper part of the arm goes into. So pretty good. Down here at the elbows, you have that single jointed hinge. And she has a paint job. Kind of looks like she has a tan or maybe, some dirt or something caked up in the cracks and crevices. But you gotta be careful when you bend them elbows out too, because it can chip the paint in there some. Down at the wrist, she has that ball joint to allow the hands to do a full 360. The cuffs of the gloves are attached to her lower forearms. And here are the gripped trigger finger hands. They look pretty nice. So I guess we probably can pop one off. So we'll go ahead and do that one, and then we'll bring in one of the ordinary grip hands, and we'll go ahead and just plug that in. All right, there we go. So we have one of those grip hands on. I may end up putting the gripped trigger finger back on there. This one's sticking out a bit, but that's all right. At the torso, we have that mid-torso swivel. You can rock a bit. You got a little bit of crunch to the back and to the front, a little bit side to side. So that would be no waist swivel in there. Down to the legs, up at the hips, you have a very nice drop leg. Leg can come forward that far, back about that far, and out to the side that far. Plug that back up. She has thigh rotation. She has double jointed knees, pinless too. Very cool. Down at the foot, she has that hinge to allow the foot to go that far forward, that far up, and then there's some side-to-side pivot. So overall, I think the articulation is pretty good. Figure looks nice, has a very nice paint job. I'm gonna go and crack this arm some and turn that out. Now let's go ahead and gear her up. I'm gonna leave everything on her. I think it all looks fine. So we're gonna start with the knife, and let's see how tight that's gonna be, because it looks like it's gonna be a tight squeeze. So we're gonna go ahead and rotate our belt around, and then we'll slide that knife into the sheath. Just like that, and it actually went in pretty good, so awesome. Slide this bandolier back down. All right, I think next we're gonna go ahead and give her her spear, but I wanna try it in the actual spear gun first. So we could take it and pop it in just like that. So that looks more like the classified version. The classified version did come down a bit more like that, but I don't think we're gonna use it. I wanna stick to the OG style of her just having, you know, a handheld spear that she could throw. So we're gonna take this and put that on her backpack. So I would think that it goes on right here. So we'll just go ahead and plug it in on 2 pegs. We gotta be careful because those pegs are very small. I don't want to break it. So use a bit of force and be kind of gentle with it. And there we go, it's in. Hopefully it holds. I don't want to go, you know, removing this constantly and risk the chance of breaking them. So we'll leave it as is. And now we'll go ahead and bring in the spear. So we get her arm at a decent angle and see how well we can feed this into it. The hand may pop off, but yep, it did. So we'll go ahead and just slide it on down. And then we'll go ahead and reattach the hand back to that small ball joint. All right, there we go. And then we can bring this around. Let me see. Now, if you look at the card art here, she's only holding it with the one hand, and I don't think that's too proper. This spear looks a little big for her. So maybe I will try to do a little cover picture here. A little difficult. See how we can do it. Maybe something like that. Gonna put this hand back out. And then I'll spin her around and we'll bring in the backpack. So it looks like you can line up that bandolier here with the hole in her back. And then slide this on in. Really tight fit, but it's in. And there we go. You got the camera on the back, so you can kind of angle that the way you want it. So let's go ahead and bring our stand in and line that peg up with the hole in the bottom of her foot. And there we go. We turn her to the side. We're not going to do a completely accurate, you know, card pose. Well, we can do something similar. Do that and spin this hand. There we go, something like that. All right, so here we go. We have more of a close-up shot of her, and she looks pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and get these hands out of here, and then we'll go ahead and give you some comparisons. So here she is side by side with the G.I. Joe Classified Retro Collection Lady Jaye. Here she is with a G.I. Joe Hasbro 25th Anniversary Lady Jaye. And here she is with one of the more recent Hiya Toys G.I. Joes. This is Lady Jaye with Flint. Then we'll go ahead and bring in some of the rest of her teammates from the Hiya line. There's Lady Jaye with Beachhead, Snake Eyes, and Flint. And that'll do it for some comparisons. So now we'll go ahead and throw her up onto the turntable and we will give you some final thoughts.
G.I. Joe will return after these messages.
look at all that shit.
Crossfire Collectibles.
Crossfire Collectibles.
Crossfire Collectibles. Crossfire Collectibles. And knowing is half the battle. Yo, Joe.
Now back to G.I. Joe.
All right, so here you have it, the G.I. Joe Exquisite Mini 1/18 scale 4-inch action figure, Lady Jaye from Hiya Toys. And this figure is pretty nice. I love the colors. They really stand out. They look a bit better, in my opinion, than the classified version, probably due to the weathering that they've done on it, you know, kind of close up. You have that beautiful, you know, weathering damage on the knee pads and the shin pads. Even on the skin and some of those joints, you know, you have a little bit of a almost sunburn looking color, which is pretty wild. I think that spear that she comes with is absolutely beautiful. That thing looks amazing. Now, if they did that with all the figures, all the releases, you know, anybody that Hasbro has done in the past, you know, any of the 25th figures, POC, any of that stuff, I'm sorry, not POC, you know, I mean the 50th anniversary. But the retro collection classified and the regular classified, that spear stands out, and that just thing just... I don't know what else to say about it, but that's like the highlight of this figure in my opinion. I do think the head sculpt needs a little work. It's okay, it's not the best, but I think it could be done a little bit better. But overall, this is a nice figure, and if you're collecting these Hiya Toys figures, I'm gonna roll with them. I've gotten every one to date that's been released, and I have every other one that they've announced pre-ordered. So I really can't wait to see what else they're coming out with. I know pretty much we're gonna get most of the classified figures, if not all of them. I guess it depends how long Hiya keeps this license, but very nice, and I hope they keep up the good work because I'm loving these things and I can't wait for more. So keep them coming, Hiya. But that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed what you saw. If you did, please, like always, leave that giant thumbs up, subscribe, tickle that bell so you're notified when we post future videos. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.